Hi everyone, we're the Tapping Duo. I'm Lisa.
I'm Renee.
Welcome to episode 3 of Dancing with the Stars. You want to get started right away?
Yes.
Okay, so the first couple last night were Rumor and Val. How'd you think they did?
I thought they did really, really well. I love the energy that they had. I love that he has a professional relationship with this particular partner this season rather than a romantic one. I mean, I always feel like all his partners fall in love with him. So this time, I think she's serious. Not that the others weren't, but there's a real professional relationship, and I think it shows through.
Yes, I think she's very business. Let's do this and let's win. And keeping him very focused.
I agree.
Okay, the second group this week was...
Well, can we mention something before we move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, so last week they got a 33, and this week they got a 32. So they went down 1 point, which is fine.
No, you have it backwards. Last night they got 33, and the prior week they got 32, so they went up a point.
Oh, that's the dyslexia that shows up. No, you're so right. Okay.
So they're on their way.
Okay, yes.
Okay, next group was Charlotte and Keo.
Yeah, there's Charlotte and Keo. Well, I have my opinions on that one.
Here, let me move Charlotte out, poor girl.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, you know, it was just a lot of posing and strutting. I think she's really good at that, being a model. I think her heart's in a good place. I think she's really trying to do well, and she is, you know, I think their package, you know, we don't listen to the judges, so we have no idea what the judges say. But this morning I heard on Good Morning America, she was saying that Bruno said something negative to her about her not being a rocket scientist or something, but she's pleasant to look at. And I thought, did he really? Come on. Dancing has nothing to do with whether you're going to be a rocket scientist. Okay, I'd like to see... Anyway, I won't touch that. All I want to say is I thought she tried. I thought she tried hard.
I think she's very distracted right now. I think she probably, since being the Carl's Jr. girl and then being on Dancing with the Stars and all that exposure, she's probably juggling a lot of different things.
Yeah, and she's young. You know, she's really young. And I think she's trying to find herself. I don't think she's quite found where she quite fits in yet. So I hope this journey helps her figure that out.
I agree.
This week they got a 22, and last week she got a 26.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a drop. Okay, the next couple that performed last night were Michael and Peta. Remember Michael, the football player? I thought they had done the salsa, and I thought that he had done a really good attempt at the salsa. And I was a little disappointed in the judging because he only got 2 points more than Charlotte, and to me, Charlotte had no dance steps in her routine, and I thought he had dance steps and gave them a best effort, and I was disappointed that he didn't make more than 2 points if we're using Charlotte as the bottom.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I really did feel like the dance was disjointed, though. I felt like it was dance, 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 lift, dance, dance, lift, and it was over. So, you know, he's a strong guy. And she's a real petite girl, so I did watch the package about how he's not throwing around a 200-pound, but a 100-pound girl. So he probably had to really figure out the weight distribution on that. So, you know, good job for him to figure that out.
Oh, yes, because he could just toss her with the same strength, right?
Yeah, yeah. Next we have Allison and Riker. They're right here.
Boy, that boy Riker, he can move on the dance floor.
Yeah, well, you know, I think he's related to Derek and Julianne, and I think he wants to show his cousins. If I'm wrong on that, let me know, but I think I heard that they're cousins, and that he really wants to kind of show them he can dance too. He's kind of a chameleon, you know. He looks like a rocker in his band, right? And then when he's dancing, he turns into different characters, which I love to see that. I think he's really good. I think he's got a great lead. I think he's tapped into a part of him that he didn't know he had. And, you know, I think when he's on stage with his band, there's plenty. But anyway, I think Allison did a great job.
I agree. And I think Riker enjoys dancing, and he communicates that well to the audience.
The other thing I saw last night was a little bit that Allison, when she's dressed like that, looked like Jennifer Lopez. I'm like, she looks like Jennifer Lopez tonight. Anyway, that was just my view of her. Okay, here we go.
All right.
They got a 34 this week, And last week they had a 32.
So they're up 2 points.
Which is great.
Yes. So next was Suzanne and Tony.
They did a samba.
They did a samba.
I think.
I liked that she was coming more and more out of her shell. And I thought, I thought she danced. She came out with a 25, which was down from last week, which was a 28. But you had a thought about the way she was dancing.
Well, I think that her timing got lost, and what I liked is that she found it again. I think that one of the hardest things to do is when you're dancing is to try to find your timing when you're in the middle of choreography. It's just really difficult. So that's where the music plays a part, or your partner who's sitting there going, left foot, left foot, left foot. So, you know, Suzanne's doing the best Suzanne can. You know, she's cute, she smiles a lot, I love that she laughs, and that she's having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you say lost timing, do you mean lost timing or lost step?
Or she lost the timing
there, but she's not
Oh,
doing
no,
it.
she didn't have the step or the timing.
Oh.
She lost her place and where she was, and
Okay.
Tony tried to pull that back in, which he did a great job doing that. Well, next we have Chris
And Whitney.
and Whitney right here.
Now, the thing that I noticed was that I thought they had great lines. And I don't normally notice that about a partner, but for some reason I thought that their arms were in unison. Perhaps that's a better way of saying it. If they were both stretched out, they were both reaching. If their legs were pointed, they were both pointing.
Well, they did an Argentine tango, and I know in an Argentine tango, the girl flicks between the guy's legs and vice versa. There's this quick little movement that happens, and I know men, when they're getting flicked by the girl, are very protective of their downstairs area. So Whitney did a lot of flicking, but I kept waiting for Chris to do it, but he didn't, and I didn't know why Whitney didn't put that in the choreography, and I'll explain that later. But they did, 20?
They got a 28 last night, up from a 21 the prior week. I'm not sure, again, when you compare them to other couples, that they were worthy of a 7-point jump when I don't know how much dancing he did as opposed to posing.
Yeah, and that's hard in this competition because it's hard the girls are strong, they can lead, and the guys look like they're leading, but the girls are really leading them. Mm-hmm. And the girls always do a lot of work, spinning and turning and going under legs and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a tough competition to try to see who's better, girl or guy. They both have such a different role in how they play what they do.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Good job, though.
The next group was Robert and Kim. I do enjoy watching them each week. I like their pre-story. I like watching them out on the dance floor. I thought this was an example of a really good song choice and how a song choice can sway you one way or another to liking a number or not liking a number.
That's
irrespective
very
of
true.
the technical.
Well, as soon as you hear the song and you start moving with it, you go, oh, this is going to be a great dance. So you already have a preconceived idea of whether you like it or not, right?
Exactly.
So they got, I think, 29 last night, and last week they got a 28. I really enjoy their chemistry. You know, I think they are really good friends, and they like each other, and they have fun, which is always wonderful to see on the dance floor, which draws you into. Right. I just wish he would fix his hands. He's got little jazz hands all the time, so he needs to bring them in and soften them. But I'm sure Kim's working on that. Yeah. But I enjoyed them.
It is that extremity is way down the arm, right? To make that, remember to bring in your thumbs and your fingers.
Now, I don't know if I remember if we said that they did a Roomba.
Okay, they did a Roomba.
Yeah, I don't remember if we said that or not.
I don't know either.
Okay, next we have Patty and Artem.
Let's see.
They're right here.
All right.
I'll just hold them up. Patty and Artem. Hello.
Now, I thought this was interesting because Patty got the same score that Charlotte got.
22, right?
22. Now
they did a cha-cha.
They did a cha-cha, and I thought she moved, again, did more of the dance steps than Charlotte had done in her number, but they got the same score. Now, I thought the best part of that number was the hopping, when she had her hands on Artem's shoulders, and they hop, 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 in rhythm to the music.
There wasn't much content. You know, I think he's being very protective of not wanting to hurt her. You know, I think she's over 70, right? Not much, though. And I think he's just being very protective of her, and she's still touring, and I think he's just really trying to be gentle to her, and he is.
And he showcases her nicely.
He does.
You know, she gets around the floor.
Yeah, but not much content.
Yeah. Now this little 14-year-old's pretty impressive. Willow and Mark. They did a paso doble.
Yeah.
What'd you think of them?
Well, I love the paso doble. You know, I like to see the movements in that, and I think he's got a perfect partner that's going to work really, really hard. I'm so impressed with her being 14. She is so mature for her age. At least that's what they're showcasing her, very mature. She's willing to take risks, and she also acknowledges her weak points when she says, well, I don't know if I can emotionally do that or not, because she's young.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
Right. I was watching how she was getting winded several times during that clipping.
Which makes me feel great. I think that's great, you know. Dancing like I do, I'm like, okay, I'm still okay. Because she got winded.
And it's always good to be reminded that dancing is a lot of work.
I think you said to me, too, earlier on that you thought it was hard for her to emote.
Oh, I thought that, you know, as she's striding across the floor, you're supposed to have that particular look and focus and determination. And I think at 14, it's a little hard to do it. So it might have looked a little more like walking than strutting. But I couldn't have done that. I thought she did amazing.
She was a real firecracker on that floor, though. She
was.
She did a great job.
She was very into that role.
Okay, I actually cried at this one last night. Noah and Sharna. First of all, Sharna, you're brilliant. You're probably learning so much. You've been so blessed to get Noah this season. I hope he stays on.
I'm going to move him
merely
so they can remember.
Merely for the fact that he has half his body he's working with. And dance takes a lot of balance, a lot of coordination to learn. And this is where I was talking about earlier, the flicks. He did them, you know, he flicked. And it was so quick, I don't know if he flicked with his artificial leg or I'm sure it was with his regular leg because he needs the strength to stand on the one leg. But then he started lifting her. Seriously, I was like, oh my gosh. The counterbalance he needed to have and to hold that pose at the end. I was just so inspired by his tenacity and his strength in his body to keep in the right place.
Yes.
Plus he did a lovely job.
Yeah, and he went up 3 points this past week. He went from a 27 to a 30, and I think he deserved every bit of those points.
Every bit of it. I'd like to see him just stay around. He might not be, you know, like Willow and some of the stronger contestants that we haven't spoken about yet, but in strength and character, he's got my vote. First place, my vote for strength of character.
Absolutely. The last couple to dance last night were Nastya and Derek.
And they did a samba.
Here they are. And they had a 34 last week and a 34 this week. I find that she's loosening up more. I don't know about chemistry or partnership part, but I do know that she's starting to enjoy herself, and it's reflective in how she moves. What did you notice?
Well, I noticed when she came back and she was dancing with the assistant, the other pro that she's dancing with here while Derek is in New York. He explained something to her about some emotion, and she just kind of had a dazed look on her face like, yeah, I guess. So, as you say, she's trying to find more of her emotion and being happier. I think the first step is to be happier. And then once she breaks through being happy and relaxed, I think she'll start feeling different feelings that the music can bring. And I think that'll help. I mean, no doubt she's wonderful and terrific, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and it is only week 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you made a comment earlier that I so agree with. I don't understand how somebody who has worked and done really, really well and gets 5s and 6, and then somebody else who has done okay and still gets 5s and 6.
Right.
I don't know why they're doing that.
I understand that there's probably not a checklist that they have to go over because then we don't have the feeling and we're just focusing on the technical. But I think that there has to be a consideration, well, if I gave this person 22, how much better was so-and-so? Now, again, they're working individual scores, but again, if they're giving 5s or a 6, why are they doing it? They must have a reason inside their heads. So.
You think they're plotting to get rid of some people over others?
I think they're setting some people up to perhaps go home. The rankings for the week were Nastya and Riker were at the top with 34. Rumor had 33, followed by Willow, 32. Noah's holding his own at 30. Robert in a close 29. And then you had Chris at 28, Suzanne at 25, Michael at 24, and Charlotte and Patty at 22.
Do you think Patty, since she tied with Charlotte, do you think she will be going home next?
I think it's going to end up being a tie between Patty or Michael. I just sense that.
Not Suzanne? You think Suzanne Somers will stay?
Believe it or not, I'm thinking Michael's going to go before either Suzanne or Patty.
Oh. Well, we'll see.
You know, it's all about following and who votes, so remember to vote. And
also, remember to comment and like us, okay? And we'd love to hear comments. Some people are commenting, and we're really enjoying the comments. So keep it up. And shall we say goodbye?
we should say goodbye.
Okay, I think she's right up here. She's right here. We have a little song we're going to sing. Let me move people out so I don't knock all these guys over. Maybe down here. Okay, ready?
Ready.
To Mirrorball Heaven?
To Mirrorball Heaven.
Okay.
Ready?
Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites the dust. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites the dust. And another one bites and another one. Okay, that's enough.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
We'll
See you next week.